hurricanes and insects probably aren't something that you usually consider together, but with Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton bearing down on the southern U.S., there are some issues that you need to be aware of, especially if you live in the area or you're going down to help with recovery efforts or anything like that. Generally, when you get this sort of extreme flooding, this tends to stir up nests of social insects. So there's this story that has come out talking about Hurricane Helene causing serious issues with yellow jacket swarms. Yellow jackets nest in the ground, and so if you have extreme flooding in a localized area, it doesn't necessarily kill all those nests. It's that it dislodges them, and so they'll take to the air and form a very angry swarm looking for a new home. So because of this, rescue workers in the area have had to start giving out enormous amounts of Benadryl and EpiPens to help with allergic reactions or just general swelling and discomfort that people get if they get hundreds or thousands of stings from these really painful insects. And this is not just an issue with yellow jackets, but there are a lot of social insects that ground nest that you need to be worried about. So it's not just the yellow jackets, which would have been nesting in these wooded environments that would have been all disrupted by Hurricane Helene, but you also have things like ground hornets. And because we also are talking about the southern United States, you have serious issues with fire ants. So I remember back in 2017, fire ants were a serious issue with Hurricane Harvey that hit Houston, and it rained 75 inches or something ridiculous over the course of a couple days. And this was a serious issue for people who had to navigate the floodwaters. So if you aren't familiar with fire ants, lucky you, but when they are flooded out of their holes in the ground, they come up and they form these massive rafts. And they do this by biting onto one another's legs, and they kind of clump together into a giant fire ant mound. And because insects are coated with a layer of wax, they can generally just float on top of the water. And they do this to escape the ground flooding. Now, this isn't necessarily an issue while it's flooding, because most people are in their homes or in refuges or in their attics, something like, or on their roofs. But then when people need to evacuate from an area and they have to walk through floodwater, or recovery efforts begin and you're trying to get drainage going in the floodwater, people can walk into these. Or these will float into their homes or something like that. And once they find dry land, like your legs, they will suddenly form these towers, and like a reverse waterfall, they go up your legs. Thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these begin swarming you and stinging you. So you're in for a world of hurt, on top of being absolutely flooded out of your homes or trying to rebuild or whatever it is that you're doing. So you need to be aware of this. So it's not just these yellow jackets. That you have lots of things nesting in the ground, lots of ants, lots of wasps. So you need to be aware. I mean, even like if you're in the South, you even have like tons of water snakes and stuff like that. So just be aware of this, especially now with Hurricane Milton bearing down on Florida. If you're going to be in the area, just make sure that you stay out of the water as much as possible. And then if you have to walk through the water, keep your eyes peeled. And I'll talk to you guys later.